And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we will be discussing how national banks have just received permission to be able to hold cryptocurrencies on behalf of their clients. Now, if you've been involved in crypto for as long as I have been, going on about 8 years now, you will remember so many financial pundits and well-known and well-respected people in the finance space coming out and saying Bitcoin is a fraud. I remember Jamie Dimon said Bitcoin is a fraud and cryptocurrency is useless. People like Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger referred to investing in crypto as investing in baby brains. And they talked about investing in rat poison. And it's just funny that these very same entities that had so many negative things to say about crypto, now these same institutions and entities are seeking approval and regulation to be able to come into the crypto space. I've been telling you guys for months now, this is a wealth transfer. Institutional money is going to come. And it is going to pump our bags. Now, you have to look at this from two different perspectives. You have one perspective where this is going to make many of us rich. This is our dot-com bubble for a lot of us when these institutions come. But then on the other end, you have to understand that we don't need these banks and we don't need these institutions. This goes away. This is opposite of everything that crypto was intended to do, right? The whole idea of decentralization and having a peer-to-peer currency that's electronic was designed to get away from banks and to get away from governments. We wanted to have rules without rulers. We wanted to have a permissionless system that we could freely choose to come into and leave. And one of my biggest fears is that we are going to leave one burning house and come into another burning house if we allow these institutions to take control. Because remember, if a bank is holding your crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. And what we should be focusing on is trying to onboard more people and bring more people into the crypto ecosystem to get them away from traditional banks, right? The whole idea of DeFi, decentralized finance, was allowing smart contracts and the Ethereum virtual machine to handle everything for us, where we would trust in code and we would trust in software and not trust in people. So I'm going to play some videos from Jamie Dimon, and we're going to get into this article where the federal regulator said national banks can hold cryptocurrency. So please do me a favor as you come into the live stream, like this video, share this video, subscribe, and make sure that you hit the notification bell. Also, make sure that you join my mailing list. A link to the mailing list is in the description below so that you can be notified in the event that YouTube doesn't send you the notification. Also, if you want to contact me, a link to my Instagram is in the description as well. Simply follow me and shoot me a DM and we can begin to dialogue. And for those of you who you're interested in learning more about crypto and different cryptocurrency projects and blockchain technology, I created my Tech Academy to teach you about different cryptocurrency projects. And we currently have a 7-day free trial. It literally will cost you nothing to hop in there and see if you like it. So a link to my Tech Academy will be in the description below, and you'll also see it in the chat as well. And if you can hear me clearly and you can see my screen nice and clear, please type one in the chat and we'll get this stream started. Okay, Lisa West says 1, Golden Gate says 1, and we can get it started. So this is the article. I'm going to read a little bit of the article, and then I'm going to play Jamie Dimon's infamous video where he referred to Bitcoin as being a fraud. So it says federal regulator, national banks can hold cryptocurrency. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has formally stated that national chartered banks can hold cryptocurrencies for their customers, as Brian Brooks, acting comptroller, said. From safe deposit boxes to virtual vaults, we must ensure banks can meet the financial services needs of their customers today. This opinion clarifies that banks can continue satisfying their customers' needs for safeguarding their most valuable assets, which today for tens of millions of Americans includes cryptocurrencies. Over the last 5 years, we've repeatedly argued that cryptocurrency key storage is clearly within the core banking activities defined in our banking laws, and that banks should be free to enter that line of business as we wrote in 2016. So, clearly the banks have been seeking approval from regulators to get involved in this space. Now, it's just funny, and this is why you have to understand that the financial elites, the powers that be, they have mastered the art of tricknology. That's a word I've made up, where they will tell you one thing while they're doing something completely. They're doing it, the very thing that they're telling you not to do, they're actually investing in behind the scenes, and they're getting themselves set up, which is why you have to be a three-dimensional thinker and really study and research things for yourself, and not let people tell you what you should be and should not be investing in. So now let's listen to Jamie Dimon's words back in 2015, 2016, and 2017.
So we had this whole discussion today about Bitcoins and digital currencies and so on. How do you see when there becomes a shadow system where you have, like you said before, and I totally agree with your assessment, that the governments would try to stop the currency being a Bitcoin currency, but be a technology. But there would be entrepreneurs who would kind of run a shadow economy system based on Bitcoin. So how would you see that play out?
It's just not going to happen. I mean, you're wasting your time.
So you think they're
when the DOJ calls someone up and says that's an illegal currency and it's against the laws of the United States of land, if you do it again, we'll put you in jail, it's over.
So you really
there's no issue. There will be, and this is my personal opinion, there will be no real non-controlled currency in the world. There's no government that's going to put up with it for long. It's kind of cute now. You know, a lot of the senators in Congress will say, I support Silicon Valley innovation. There will be no currency that gets around government controls.
Anybody here want to take an opposite view?
The technology will be used. It may be used to transport currency, but it will be U.S. dollars.
But digital,
right.
but the right digital currency will be stopped.
Yes, a virtual currency where it's called a Bitcoin as opposed to a U.S. dollar. These things may be very well for cheap transfers of money.
Now, that was back in 2015 when he made those comments. And now let's fast forward, and JP Morgan Bank takes on Coinbase and Gemini as its first crypto exchange customers. Right? It says its CEO once called Bitcoin a fraud, but now U.S. banking giant JP Morgan Chase has added its first cryptocurrency exchange customers, CoinDesk has confirmed. Sources told the Wall Street Journal Tuesday the bank signed two popular regulated exchanges, Coinbase and Gemini, the latter founded by Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss. The fact that both exchanges are regulated in the U.S. was apparently a factor in the approvals, which still took a lengthy period of vetting, the Wall Street Journal said. Accounts for the two crypto firms were approved last month, the sources said, and are now in use. The move by JP Morgan is notable in a nation where banking services are hard to come by for any firms dealing with cryptocurrencies, which are viewed as a high risk by the banking industry. Until now, exchanges, other firms working with digital assets, have been served by a few crypto-friendly banking institutions such as Silvergate. So now, in 2015, Bitcoin was a fraud and digital currencies were a fraud that wasn't backed by the government. Yet we have over 5,000 different cryptocurrencies as of today that aren't backed by the government. And they're working with exchanges that are providing some of those cryptocurrencies to people like you and I. See, I'm an OG. I've been around long enough to understand that so many people will come out and say it's a scam, it's a fraud, don't buy it. And if you listen to these people, you will be broke. If you listen to the Warren Buffetts of the world, see, these people are crony capitalists. They don't compete to win their money. What they do is they corner the market. What they do is they infiltrate. What they do is they collude with other people. What they do is they tell you one thing and they lie to you, and while they're buying something else. Or they'll sell you something that they know is a fraud and tell you it's a good investment, like they did in 2006 and 2007 when they were selling people derivatives, knowing that there were illiquid assets that was going to explode anyway. See, this is why I don't listen to Warren Buffett, because Warren Buffett's pockets aren't my pockets. Warren Buffett has a fiduciary responsibility to him and his clients, not to you. Now, he keeps talking about governments. Well, let's talk about what some of these governments are doing around the world and why you want a decentralized system, why you want a permissionless system. And I'm going to read this article to you because this is coming to the United States. Trust me when I tell you. So it says, exclusive global banks scrutinize their Hong Kong clients for pro-democracy ties. Bankers at Credit Suisse, HSBC, Julius Baer, and UBS, among others, are broadening scrutiny under their programs that screen clients for political and government ties and subjecting them to additional diligent requirements. These people said the designation, called politically exposed persons, can make it more difficult or altogether prevent people from accessing banking services depending on what the bank finds about the person's source of wealth or financial transactions. The checks at some wealth managers have involved combing through comments made by clients and their associates in public and in the media and social media posts in the recent past, these people said. The new law prohibits what Beijing describes broadly as succession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign forces, with up to life in prison for offenders. I want you to think about that. So now you have the government saying that if we don't like your speech, if we don't like the protests that you've attended, if we don't like the fact that you are against tyranny and a dictatorship, we can cut off your banking services. So this is why I laugh at people when they try to tell me that somehow, a decentralized peer-to-peer open system that's permissionless, that's borderless, that you can choose to participate in, and you can take your money out at any time. No one's controlling your money. Somehow that's a scam. But putting your money in a bank where the banks are working with the government and they're putting laws on the books where, oh, you attended a Black Lives Matter protest and we don't like that? Oh, we'll cut your bank off or we'll freeze your assets. Oh, you want reparations? Oh, well, we feel that you're part of a terrorist group. Oh, you went to a protest and Antifa was there. We didn't like that. So we have to review your account. This is why Bitcoin was created in the first place. And then came Ethereum, and then came all of these other different cryptocurrency projects, was for you to have an option. For so long, we did not have neutral money. We only had money that was issued by the government. And now I'm going to play Jamie Dimon's words because, see, it's all about control with these people. They want to control every essence of your life, where they dictate to you what you can and can't do. So let's hear Jamie Dimon's words.
could care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it. The blockchain is a technology, which is a good technology. We actually use it. It will be used for a lot of different things. God bless the blockchain. Cryptocurrencies and digital currencies, I think are also fine. JP Morgan moves $6 trillion around the world every day. We don't do it in cash. It's done digitally. If it can be done digitally with the blockchain, so be it. But it'll still be a dollar cryptocurrency. What I have an issue with is a non-fiat cryptocurrency. Dollar, so crypto, sterling, euro, yen, they're all fine. I don't personally understand the value of something that has no actual value. You all can do whatever you want, and I don't care. Okay? All right?
Fraud.
Yeah.
Why is Bitcoin a fraud?
Yeah, so separate blockchain, which is a technology, from Bitcoin, the currency. And now there are multiple currencies, and so I'm talking about not Bitcoin per se, I'm talking about currencies. The first, and the reason, and I'm not saying go short, because I know Jim Chanos was up there. Bitcoin can tell $100,000 of Bitcoin before it goes down. So this is not advice on what you do. My daughter bought some Bitcoin and it went up, and she thinks she's a genius now. But it's I did refer to it as like the tulip bulb crisis of the 1700s, whatever. But here's the reason. Governments, the first thing they do is form a currency. They like to control the currency. They control it through a central bank. They also like to know who has it, where it is, where it's going. Okay, and you just saw China is closing down the Bitcoin exchanges. And all I ever said is that at Bitcoin, the bigger these things get, the more governments, right now, they look at it as a novelty. They love in Washington, talk about, this technology, we love technology. Wait until someone gets hurt. Wait until it's used for illicit purposes, which it is somewhat used for illicit purposes. They close it down. And that's my point. So it's not, you can argue and I also said there's a good reason for it. If you're in Venezuela or Ecuador or North Korea, you're better off probably using Bitcoin than using their currency. It can't possibly be true in the United States.
So, as I just stated, he said they want to control. Governments want to control you. And banks are just one and the same, right? The banks and the governments are in the same bed. They want to control you. They don't think that you're smart enough to make decisions with your money. Now, he spoke about illicit things and doing bad things with crypto, as if people don't use cash to do bad things as well. And you don't hear them saying, well, hey, let's ban cash, right? Because it's easier. See, it's easier actually to use cash to do illegal things than it is to use cryptocurrencies, because you have a digital footprint. And if you're not smart, you can actually track where this money is actually going and where it's not going, right? Like you can track people across the blockchain. So it actually brings more transparency. See, Jamie Dimon doesn't like transparency. The banks don't want you knowing who's putting money in JP Morgan's bank. What clients do they have? Who do they do business with? They don't like to disclose that. But somehow now they're worried about illicit things. They don't want to talk about the dark pools of liquidity that they have and who's accessing those. They don't want to talk about the derivatives. Oh no, that's a third-party market. That's a different market. They don't want more regulation into stuff like that because they want to be able to commit fraud. So this is why I keep stressing to you, you guys, you have to get smart about what you're doing and don't let people shake you out of your positions, because then now, look, PayPal is set to make cryptocurrency trading mainstream. But then their former CEO came on and said, Bitcoin is a scam. I did a video about that 2 weeks ago, right? Now, last month, rumors began circulating that online international payment giant PayPal Holdings had plans to enter the cryptocurrency industry and will soon begin offering cryptocurrency buying and selling functionality. These rumors appear to have been confirmed by a recently published letter, which clearly describes PayPal's intent to develop its capabilities in cryptocurrency space. Once these plans are brought to fruition, this will make PayPal the largest traditional finance platform to support digital assets. Wow. Former CEO says it's a scam. Now they want to get involved. Isn't that interesting? Here comes MasterCard right behind it. MasterCard expands cryptocurrency program for crypto card issuers. MasterCard is reaching out to cryptocurrency firms and encouraging them to apply to become partners as part of a newly expanded cryptocurrency card program. Understand that crypto was created and designed. Satoshi Nakamoto, when he created this, he wanted to create a system that could be peer-to-peer, where we did not have to use middlemen and third parties. Right? You don't need to use third parties. This is why we have local Bitcoins, where you can go meet up with people and you can exchange fiat for crypto. You don't have to go through these exchanges. This is why we have local cryptos where you can go. That was the whole purpose of having a peer-to-peer currency. This is why we have Uniswap. Uniswap, you don't need to use Coinbase. You can go on Uniswap and buy all of the different cryptocurrencies. This is why we have decentralized exchanges. It was meant to be peer-to-peer. So this is why I keep stressing to you guys, I feel that we're leaving one burning house and we're basically corporatizing crypto. You can use a DEX. You don't have to use, you can use Changely. There's so many. If you're in my Tech Academy, I have shown you guys how to do that. How you can even buy on Coinbase and swap on Uniswap. You can utilize MetaMask. Why do you need to have JP Morgan hold your crypto? Not your keys, not your crypto. If you can send an email, you can do a Bitcoin transaction. You can do an Ethereum transaction. If you know how to copy and paste, you can do a crypto transaction. This is about sovereignty. There's no excuse. We don't need these third parties. Right? Now, Courtney Gibson, that you probably got here a little late, but I stated that at the beginning. You have to have two hats here. This is going to pump our bags. I'm not saying that this is bad as far as us making money. This wealth transfer is going to happen. We're going to make money. I've been telling you guys this for a long time. This wealth transfer is going to happen. So forget your ideology. Forget this whole, hard money, anti-government. The big boys are going to come and they're going to pump our bags. A lot of us are going to become millionaires. This is our .com bubble. This is our real estate bubble, right? This is our time. We're going to get rich. We're going to get rich. I've come to that conclusion a long time ago. We're getting rich. If you're in crypto, especially if you've been in crypto for the past 3 to 5 years and you're holding strong and you've been at it, we're getting rich. That's no brainer. What I'm saying though is that what the technology was designed to do. If we allow the banks to come in, because you have to remember, you have to start thinking about proof of stake. You have to start thinking about voting interest in different protocols. If you allow them to gain a large share of a certain cryptocurrency project, now they control that project, especially like a Bitcoin where there's only 21 million coins. If you allow these big boys to, concentrate 4 or 5 million coins or 6 million coins, that could be extremely problematic because now they control the market, right? So now they can really start manipulating the market. So this is what I'm saying is that we have to be careful that we're not corporatizing this by bringing in institutional money. And obviously, I believe that in the end, our innovation will supersede this. I believe that our innovation will supersede this, right? Where we'll somehow figure out a way to beat the globalists. But if we allow them to come in and start controlling the keys, remember, like Coinbase controls your keys. You don't get your private key on Coinbase. And you know what this is about. See, now we have to start being three-dimensional thinkers. So we have JP Morgan coming out and saying Bitcoin's a fraud. Then now we find out they're working with Coinbase. You know what's next? Coinbase is going to try to go public. You already know Coinbase is thinking about an IPO. And then you know what's next, what comes with that. JP Morgan wants to be the bank to take them public. So it's a reason why they're working with them. See, I start thinking ahead and start putting domino pieces together, right? So, and if you start looking at like the coins that Coinbase is listing, these are all coins that you wouldn't, there won't have any problems with regulators as far as the SEC is concerned. Like they just listed, I think it was Algo. They just Algorand, I believe it was. They just listed it on Coinbase, I think like today or yesterday, right? They're listing certain projects that they know won't have any issues with regulators in the SEC. So again, we have to start thinking and being three-dimensional thinkers and just seeing where this is going. So yes, that's going to be good for us. Our bags are going to pump. We already see Ethereum starting to pump. So I don't want to sound like a hypocrite to you guys. You know, I like to be a straight shooter with you. I don't sit up here and try to lie to you. This is going to be good for us as far as making fiat money if you want to cash out. But this may be problematic about the technology because, again, we're going through this fourth industrial revolution. And we know what's going to come with that. We know about population control. We know about the powers that be. We know what they're trying to do. So we have to be very, very careful. TD Hip Hop says, when you say the big boys are going to pump our bags, can you re-explain what you mean by that? It's not too much to ask. Yeah. When I say the big boys, I mean the institutions. I mean like the Grayscales. I mean like the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, the SAC Capitals, where we're talking about these institutions. They have $300-400 billion under management. And then they can go into the markets and they can lever up 50 to 1. Like when you come here and you look at the crypto market cap, the entire market cap for cryptocurrency is $290 billion, right? When you start thinking about Warren, like I did a video on this before, when you start thinking about Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they're worth more than the entire crypto market cap, like just with their assets combined. Like they're worth more than the entire crypto market cap. So like when these whales, when these big boys come in, they can push this market to $2 trillion tomorrow in a blink of an eye, right? So what I'm saying is that when I talk about the big boys, I'm talking about people with money, institutional money. Like crypto right now is mainly retail. People like you and I, we have, you know, $1,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 and we put it in a coin and, you know, we 30x'd our money, right? That's cool. When I'm talking about the big boys, I'm talking about they got billions of dollars and they can come in at 50 to 1 leverage, 100 to 1 leverage. Like when you're dealing with that type of money, they can move markets. And then what happens is you get centralization, because if 2 or 3 players control most of a cryptocurrency project, then they control what can and can't happen, right? So you have to be careful with that, because if the big boys, if 3 of them get together and they corner the market like the Hunt brothers did with silver, right, they can crash the market as well, right? So they can really start moving markets around. Now, it's inevitable because, as I said before, this is a retail phenomenon, right? We're only $300 billion. So we know the big boys are going to come and push this market. What I'm saying is that the technology has to be able to withstand these pressures. Now, so far, Bitcoin has been robust enough to withstand these pressures. We're going on 11 years now, right? Can Ethereum with proof of stake do that? Because remember, staking is all about, you have to have 32 ETH when we go to ETH 2.0. Well, it's going to be nothing for the big boys to buy up 32 ETH. And then what if they want to start trying to brute force the network, DDoS the network with 51% attacks, if they want to start colluding with miners? Like, you have to start thinking about that, where like they can start timing attacks where they're going to dump the coin at the same time and attack the coin. So you really have to start thinking about this in a more advanced way, which is why you want to go slow with the code and with the implementation of how you roll things out, because eventually, you know, these attacks are going to come, right? You know that they're going to come. You know the big boys are coming, and you know eventually they're going to try to attack it. So what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, this is bullish for us as far as making money. Like, as you can see, Ethereum's at $272. It was up at about like 276 earlier on the news. Bitcoin was up about like 5%. Like, you know, everything was pumping earlier today. Like, we're looking at the 24-hour change. If we come here and we look at let's look at, hold on. Let's look at 7 days, right? And we can look at some of the top coins. Like just look at the past 7 days. Look at Balancer, look at Digibyte, look at Maker, look at Augur. I have a big bag of Augur. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum's up 16% in the past 7 days. And, you know, I don't say these things to brag. You know, I try to tell you guys that I know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, I'm not one of these guys that's sitting up here and I'm trying to sell you something. Look at silver. How long have I been sitting up here telling you guys about precious metals and telling you about precious metals mining stocks? And again, I'm not sitting up here because I'm trying to brag. Go check my track record. Go look at my old videos. When this crash happened here back in March, because of what was happening with the pandemic, I was telling you guys, nothing's changed fundamentally. We're going through a deflationary spiral, and the only way that you're going to beat deflation is you're going to have to print money. You cannot grow your way out of deflation. We know that. Read The Creature from Jekyll Island. We know what happens when you're in deflation. We know what Ben Bernanke and Alan Greenspan said about deflation, right? It's the enemy of central bankers. And what happened? They start printing trillions of dollars immediately. If you listen to me when this sold off, I jumped in and started throwing everything I had at my positions. Why? Because I knew it was going to happen. And then we went from $12 at the crash to where silver sitting at $22 an ounce now. Look at gold. Gold's pumping. Same thing happened with gold. Because all of this was false liquidation, right? These were people being liquidated. They were getting margin called, right? These were margin calls. Like it wasn't selling because of something fundamentally changed with silver. See, silver, in my opinion, is going to give you more gains than gold because silver actually has industrial properties in use. So therefore, it becomes more scarce than gold. Excuse me. So I've been telling you guys about getting involved in that, you know, getting involved in silver just based upon the gold to silver ratio, right? And then now, boom, look what happens. Gold starts exploding. You can't print trillions of dollars and think that it's not going to affect the value of money. Right? I've been talking Barrick Gold, Newmont Mining. Look at precious metal mining stocks. I've been making a killing in those stocks. I hear people talking about, you know, these airline stocks that they're gambling in and they're gambling in Hertz. When you're investing big amounts of money, I don't have time to be putting my money in pump and dumps. Right? So when I hear people talk about like, oh, well, this coin is up or this project is up, I don't have time to lose my money. The days of gambling are over for me. When I first started trading, I started playing around with penny stocks and all of that. I learned my lesson. You'll make money until you don't. And at one time you lose, it will wipe out all of your gains. So you can put your money in a penny stock and you can go from $1,000 and make 10 grand. And then you could turn 10 into 20 and you'll think that you're a genius. And then you put your money in one of these rare earth Chinese metal stocks. I know because I've done it. And then you wake up the next day and now your account is down to about $3,000, right? So again, I'm not discouraging you. I'm just trying to get you to understand that I've played that game before. I've learned slow and steady wins the race, because eventually, if you keep getting up there to bat, right? Just think about it. In Major League Baseball, if you bat 350, 370, they'll pay you $10 to $15 to $20 million a year. What that means is that you strike out more times than you hit, right? Long as you're getting on base a good amount of time, that's all you have to do, right? Because eventually you're going to hit that home run. And then you get that compound effect with money, right? You build wealth over time. You don't build wealth overnight, right? So be careful when you're listening to all of these people talk to you about options trading. Excuse me, let me drink some water real quick. Be careful about options trading and penny stocks and all that. I'm not saying you can't make money. What I'm telling you is slow and steady wins the race. If you listen to me and you was buying gold and silver, if you purchase silver, you're up 100% on your money. If you've been dollar cost averaging, buying a little bit over time, you're making great money. If you looked at precious metal stocks, you're making good money. If you look here in the crypto space, as I was saying to you guys before, look at these 7-day changes. Dollar cost averaging, not going all the way and buying a little bit over time. Okay, I have $10,000 to invest. I'm going to allocate $500 every 2 weeks or every month so I can build a good base. When we get big crashes and big pullbacks, I want to buy on pullbacks. Right? We can even look at the past month. Look at synthetics up 100%. Lind up 93%. VeChain, I got a bag of VeChain. I'm up 90% in a month. Look at Chainlink. Chainlink's on a monster tier. I've been talking about these projects. Cardano. I sold most of my Cardano, but I have a little bit of it. Atom. That's one of my biggest positions I have. Look at Kuiper Network. Look at Dogecoin. I wouldn't touch it. That was a whole TikTok hype. Augur. Project I own. Right? And Ethereum's up 13%. Now understand, right? Ethereum, if you understand what a protocol is just a set of rules that anyone participating in a network has to go by and follow if you want to participate in that particular network, so that basically systems can talk to each other. Clients can talk to each other within that network, within that system. TCP and IP couldn't capture that wealth. If you understand that you need 32 ETH to be able to stake, what that tells you is that means Ethereum is going to be locked up in different DeFi protocols or locked up for staking. So therefore, that's going to put more value. That's going to put more value into Ethereum because you're going to be locking that up. Why? Because you want to be earning, people are going to want to earn the fees off of staking and validating transactions. Ethereum, if this DeFi thing takes off like it's doing right now, that's big money. Look at DeFi Pulse. This was just at DeFi, right? Total value locked in USD, right? It was just at $3 billion yesterday. Go and watch the video I did yesterday. It was at $3 billion. Now it's at 3.5. And this is tiny. What is Jeff Bezos worth today? I don't even know, right? What, 100 billion, 80 billion? Was Warren Buffett worth? These people are worth, these individuals can pump this market. This is tiny. And we know the institutional money is coming. The institutional money is coming. We see JP Morgan getting involved. You know, Goldman Sachs is behind the scenes setting things up. So this is, I say this, you know, to brag a little bit and to tell you guys, listen, money is going to pour into this space. This wealth transfer is going to happen. So if you say, oh, how do you handle the volatility? Easy, I buy more. When Bitcoin's down 20%, I buy more. Go back and watch my video the day when Ethereum crashed to $100. I put up a screenshot. I went and purchased more. I bought more. That's what I do. I don't panic. Because if you pull up a chart, let's pull up a chart here. Let's go to BTC USD, right? This is how you know if you're cut out for investing. If you go back here to, let's go back even further. Let's look at a monthly chart. Bitcoin has done nothing since 2018. It's basically moved sideways. And you know what I've been doing? Just buying on dips, dollar cost averaging, buying on dips. Oh, Bitcoin crashed, I buy more. Oh, Bitcoin crashed 20%, I buy more. Because I understand where we're going. And then I trade around that position. I'll take profits on certain coins or certain projects that I'm involved in. But this is happening. It's happening right now in our face. Look at this. Ethereum active addresses have doubled year to date as DeFi continues rapid growth. Right? A few weeks ago, Ethereum's active address count topped 500,000. Right? That means people actually buying and selling Ethereum and transferring Ether on their address. That's huge. That's what you want to see. Growth is happening. So it's happening right now in our face. So going back to this, just to wrap this up, and I'll take some questions. You can listen to Jamie Dimon. You can listen to Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. These people are already rich, and they got rich using government. They got rich being crony capitalists. You can let them play mind games and play tricknology with you. But I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Coinbase starts going public. There's no reason why we need a crypto debit card. There's no reason why we need decentralized exchanges. We should be doing business and transactions peer-to-peer. We should be using decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. Uniswap, last thing I want to show you guys too. This is really, really important. I forgot to talk about this right here. Monthly volume for DEXs have soared past 1.5 billion to hit an all-time high in June. The volume happening on the DEXs, the decentralized exchanges, soon will be equal to what's happening on centralized exchanges. Because see, more and more people are waking up and they're realizing, why do we need middlemen? You don't need these banks and these centralized exchanges, right? Decentralized exchanges saw their busiest month ever in terms of trade volume, according to new market data. The raw figures collected from Dune Analytics show that DEXs posted a monthly volume of $1.5 billion in June. This development represents a month-over-month increase of 70% compared to May's $894 million. Look at this volume that's happening on these decentralized exchanges. Forget Coinbase, right? And the automated market maker protocols, Uniswap and Curve, contributed the most to June's volume figure. And I guarantee a lot of that pump was because of Chainlink, because people have just been pouring into Chainlink. Look at this, though. Look at this trend. Look at this trend. It's happening. You're looking at the internet back in the Netscape days. You have no idea the power that's in front of you right now. And if it takes you 3 to 5 years, what do you think? And especially with the protocols, and I love to focus on the protocols. Excuse me. I love to focus on the protocols. That's why I own a lot of protocols like Ethereum, because all of them are protocols. When I say protocols, I mean protocols that you can actually build on, like things that you can actually use. Like that's why I love Ethereum. I love Cardano. Well, used to love Cardano, but Tezos, even EOS, even though no development's happening there, like these type of projects where you can build stuff on top of them. That's powerful when you start thinking about what you can do about that. And then you start thinking about like decentralized oracles, like Chainlink. Like you can really start going places when you start thinking about like NEM and NEO. Like if any one of these protocols actually starts getting a lot of adoption, and that's what's happening with Ethereum, because so many people are developing, dApps and building out things and tokens on top of the Ethereum virtual machine. When you understand that, you understand that this is going to be big, big, big. And you need to get you some bags. So like I said, if it takes you 3 to 5 years, what do you think the price of Tezos is going to be? if we're sitting at a $2 trillion total market cap and this crypto is sitting at $100 billion, what do you think the price of this is going to be? This is going to be insane. So now you can play, like I said, you can play around in airline stocks if you want to. You could play around in Hertz and Nikolai and all of these different pump and dumps. You could. You can even play some pump and dump cryptos. But if you have some serious capital that you're trying to really deploy, you know, you need to be looking at some of these serious projects like a VeChain. VeChain's going to be big, man. It's up 90%. It's pumping. So, that being said, guys, I'll take some questions. I'll look into the chat. For those of you who are interested in learning, this is why I launched my Tech Academy, to give you a brief overview and put things into simple terms for you that you can understand. Because one of the biggest problems that we have in this industry and in this space is that because these are technical things, and there's a lot of, you know, computer science and math that goes into deploying this type of technology, people are not good at communicating this to everyday average people, right? So that's why I wanted to be able to, you know, explain things in a way that the average person can understand. How the hell do I get involved in this, and what exactly is this? And a link for that will be in the description below. So let's see what's going on in the chat. It says, people, let me tell you, we are so early in this game. It's crazy. You see that this has only 61 people watching, but if he was talking about you know who, it would have hundreds of people. So pat yourself. Yes, B.A. Baracus. But see, here's the funny thing. If you went back to 2017 when everything was pumping, like even Ivan on Tech, if you look at Chico Crypto, if you look at Crypto Bobby, these guys have insane followers, like follow accounts, but they only do like 10,000 views or 20,000 views a video. Once this bull market comes back and CNBC is talking about crypto all day, every day, and the cab driver is talking about this coin that he just purchased and it 2x, my views are going to be extremely high. Right? That's just how people are. People will always be late to the party. That's just people. Like Tesla. You know, I've been a bear on Tesla. Smart money, they held their positions. Now everyone wants to try to buy Tesla when it's already, the big moves has already been made. Now what's going to happen is you're going to get dumped on. Reality. See, that's what happens. Like when crypto goes mainstream, you and I, B.A. Baracus, we're going to be dumping our crypto on them. They're going to be our liquidity to get out. And I could take the coins off Cash App and put it on the Nano. I cover that inside of my Tech Academy. I show you how you can purchase on Cash App, and then you can send it to your ledger, and then after that you can run it through a DEX like Changely, or you can send it to Coinbase if you want and swap it for Ethereum, and then go through MetaMask if you want to, and then use it on Uniswap. I cover all of that stuff in my Tech Academy. But Cash App doesn't allow you to have your private keys. So it's a good place to onboard yourself if you're new. I always tell people, start small. You're not going to pick this stuff up as well. You're not going to pick this stuff up in a matter of a month, right? I learn new stuff every day. Like I'm learning about ZK rollups and zero knowledge proofs. I'm literally studying that right now. Like you're going to learn about so many different things. I haven't even touched yield farming yet. Like different ways that you can create a stack and do yield farming. So there's just so many things that you can learn. This is why I tell you guys from a content creator standpoint, you should get involved, because there's just so much happening that you'll always be able to create content. And although the views may not be there right now, once we get back in this bull market and Bitcoin's at $25,000, I guarantee you your views are going to shoot through the roof. I just started and I signed up with Coinbase and Binance USA. Are they on the up and up? And I just got my Nano X. Of course, those are heavily regulated exchanges. Coinbase, you're not going to have any problem with Coinbase and Binance. That doesn't mean that you should leave your crypto there on that exchange. Because I'm a firm believer in not your keys, not your crypto. But even if you're not comfortable with using your ledger yet, start small. I tell people, like, let's say buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, buy $100 worth of Ethereum, right? Like, start small. You don't have to go big. I've never used Nexo wallet, so I wouldn't know Charlene Miller. I don't know too much about Nexo wallet. Are you familiar with the Kraken crypto exchange? Absolutely. Back in 2017, when the market was pumping, that was really one of the only exchanges that was accepting clients and customers. So Kraken's not a bad exchange at all. I don't think that Kraken is a bad exchange. And Phantom Beat, if you're inside of the My Tech Academy, if you ever need me to explain something in more detail, drop that in the community tab. Like, I just posted about some job opportunities. For those of you who are like looking for employment in this space, obviously you have to have skills. But I told you guys, I'm going to be focusing on trying to onboard you guys and get you into the industry as well. Again, I can't get you a job. When I say get you into the industry, meaning that I'm going to point you in that direction as to who's hiring and who's not hiring. When we go through this whole coding bootcamp thing, like really focusing on getting you up to speed for that type of stuff. So there's a section now in the community tab for people who are looking for employment. There's job opportunities, and it's not just for people in tech. They're looking for sales managers. They're looking for what was the other job opportunities I saw today? It was a sales manager. It was a cybersecurity researcher, so like doing research, looking for people like as far as social media marketing. There's so many job opportunities in crypto outside of just the technology type of stuff. If you're into legal, like if you have these type of degrees or certifications, you can actually start utilizing them in crypto. So I posted that inside of the community section. Guys, you have to get in that community section, read the articles that are being posted. Go and look at the job opportunities. When starting small, is it better to spread money out or focus on one or two coins? Well, it all depends on what your small is, right? If your small is a couple $100, then I would say that me personally, and this isn't financial advice, I would rather go with Ethereum than Bitcoin, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because look at the market cap, right? For Bitcoin to double, you need another $176 billion to come in. For Ethereum to double, you only need another $30 billion to come in. So I would, if I'm coming in small and I have a few hundred or a few thousand, I'm putting my money in Ethereum, right? Because that's going to give me the best bang for my buck, right? Like, it's just the market cap smaller. It's on fire right now. It's going to be much easier to pump this than it is going to be to pump Bitcoin. That's just the reality. Now, if small is, I have about 10 grand, 15 grand that I'm about to put in, because that's still small too. You got to think about it, like relatively, like $15,000 is not a lot of money. I know to some of us that may be a lot of money, but in the world of finance, that's nothing. Okay, then I'm gonna spread my money around. Like if I got $10,000 or $15,000, I'm putting $2,500 in Ethereum. I'm putting $1,000 in the Tezos. I'm putting another $1,500 in the VeChain. I'll wait for a pullback in Chainlink, or I'll go and look at a Band or an Elrod, one of those type of projects, or what's the other one I was looking at, like a Kyber Network or Zilliqa or an Augur. I'll start like allocating money where I'll put 1,000 here, 1,500 here, 2,000 there, to really spread myself out. Is how I would do it. I would have like a split. So you can do like a 60-40 split. You can do like a 70-30 split. So you could say like 70% of my money is going to go in like top 25 projects, and then 30% of my money is going to go into things I want to speculate on. I would break my money up like that. Courtney Gibson said, what do I think about the what condition do you see the global economy at in 2021? Honestly, these are the two outcomes I see. I see this fourth industrial revolution, the Great Reset, continuing. The powers that be want to reset things. And I think that as far as the financial economy, I think the financial economy is going to be fine. The Fed's going to do whatever it takes to get the stock market to stay up and keep the banking system flowing, which is going to be beneficial for us, those of us that are in crypto. But the mainstream economy is going to suffer, and it's going to be painful for many people. Is what I see. That's what I see. If we don't get some type of a vaccine, if we don't get a vaccine, I see more of the same. Like right now, all-time highs in the stock market, crypto pumping, but Main Street struggling. If we get some type of a vaccine and people are sheeple and they go and they take it, then things go back to somewhat normal, but the economy doesn't recover the way that people are expecting it, and we continue to keep going through this contraction period. Because between automation and technology and deflation, a lot of these jobs are just not coming back. Amazon's going to gobble up a lot of the retail. Walmart's going to gobble up the retail. It's just not coming back. That's the reality. So to basically sum this up, I see two things. We get a vaccine and, the economy goes back to somewhat normal as far as like people being able to go outside, people being able to go to work. But I see more turmoil in like certain sectors. So retail, I think retail's in a ton of pain. I think real estate's going to continue to suffer and struggle in certain areas, especially certain demographics of real estate for the long term. And I believe that this Cold War between China and America is going to continue to heat up. So when you look at geopolitics, like look what just happened with the consulate. I think it was yesterday where they were burning documents. Like, China and America is going to continue to keep going through this ebb and flow because, China is trying to dominate the world. Like no one wants to be the little brother forever. Eventually you want to challenge the big brother. That's just the way things go. So from a global macro standpoint, I believe that we're going to have more money printing globally. I believe that you're going to start to see the world start to divide between the East and the West, and you're going to see more tension between Iran, China, Russia towards the West. And that's just what it's going to be. That's what I see. So I see those things on the horizon. Now, as I said before, we get the vaccine, people will be able to go back to work. It won't be so much pressure on unemployment, but these jobs are still going to contract, honestly. I hope I answered your question. And if you need me to go into more depth, I'll do that too. How long do you think we will be able to purchase do you think we will be able to purchase real estate with crypto? Some people have already purchased real estate with their crypto. It's been like like a one-off transaction. I know Andreas, he sold his car for crypto. It all depends on institutional adoption for real estate, right? Real estate's a big purchase. So I think that when we get more banks involved, I would give that like 3 years, right? Those type of purchases, because it's going to take a while to really get all of the banks on board, for them to gobble up their positions, for them to try to shake people out, do some pump and dumps. I still think Tether is a bomb that's waiting to explode. Tether, there's a lot of fraud with Tether. And I keep telling people, be careful with Tether. There's a lot of fraud with Tether. Tether has never been properly audited. We know that they don't have enough funds based upon what happened with the Bitfinex hack. So I think Tether's a bomb waiting to happen. And I think that could be something that can tank the crypto market because there's just a lot of fraud that's happening with Tether. But as far as buying like real estate or like cars and stuff like that, for the average person, it's probably going to take like 3 years, 3 to 5 years. So, but I keep telling people, be careful with these stable coins like Tether. I believe it was USDC the other day. They froze someone's assets, right? That's not immutable. That's not decentralization. That's not what crypto was designed to do. Like using these stable coins where they can freeze your assets. That's not what crypto was designed to do. That's basically basic banking again. So be careful with these stable coins. Charlene Miller, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that I would be able to help you if you have a learning disorder. I just don't. I don't think I'm equipped to be able to do that. Most of the content inside of my Tech Academy is like my YouTube videos, where I'm like walking you through how to use the technology. I'm talking to you about cryptography, hash functions, digital signatures, stuff like that, virtual machines. And I know that some of this stuff is technical. So I don't really know if I'm qualified to teach you if you have that. There's other people in this space that may be able to teach you better than me. I know like Ivan on Tech, he has a large team. There's like right now it's really just me working on this project, My Tech Academy. I know Ivan on Tech, he has like 7 or 8 people that works with him. I think that he may be better off, or his team might be better off to help someone that may have a learning disability. Because I don't have the skill set to do that, and I wouldn't lie to you to take your money. I'm not here to take people's money and promise them dreams. Yes, Courtney Gibson. I'm as we grow, I'm definitely going to be adding team members. That's why I want to focus on getting a coding boot camp off the ground, and I want to focus on, like I said, we have the one-on-one courses now. We have Ethereum 101. We have Bitcoin 101. Bitcoin 101. Next, we do the privacy coins. Then we do Tezos. Then now I can see who actually knows enough. Then I can bring some people on the team. Like, because if you know basic programming skills, you know JavaScript, you know HTML, you know CSS. Then we go into Solidity. Okay, you know that. You know what a hash function is. You know what a digital signature is, right? So now I don't want to bring someone on and I have to micromanage them all day, right? That wouldn't make any sense. So because that's what Ivan on Tech basically has done with his academy. Like as the academy grows, you see his team members, they grow, and the quality of the academy grows. Like that's why you have like students, like you teach your students, because many of you are going to become better than me. Right? Like that's the whole purpose of educating someone. Like many of you are going to be better programmers than me, right? Because I don't spend most of my day programming. Right? Like I know programming because I went through a coding boot camp. I know programming because I play with the technology. But for someone who's sitting down coding 8 hours, 10 hours a day, you're going to be a better coder and a better programmer than me. Okay, well now I can bring you on board. Right? So like that's how you grow. Like as the academy grows, as the students in the academy grows, now I can say, okay, well this person, he's active in the group. He's posting stuff. So he seems like he knows what the hell he's talking about. Okay. Well, now let's try to bring this person on the team. So, you have to crawl before you walk. That's why I rolled out the academy the way that I did, because, I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. First, I wanted to see, is there demand for this product? Okay, there's demand for the product. Now, can I achieve what I want to achieve with the product and be able to deliver a quality product? I feel like I've done that now. Now, the next step is, okay, I'm onboarding people. People are satisfied with the product. Now I need to raise the level of the students and then get some of those students on board. So definitely what I want to do. And I plan on that happening within the next 3 to 4 months. Like as soon as we start going into like that holiday season, many of you should be up to speed as far as to, because you shouldn't just be relying on the academy. You should also be seeking out the resources, the books that I've posted inside of the resources tab, reading Andreas' work, going through some GitHub repositories and stuff like that, like really diving in on your own. This is just meant to onboard you. You got to think about it. Like you're paying $50 a month. That's tiny. Like the amount of money you're spending versus what I'm giving you guys. I've spent thousands of dollars on this information. So as I said before, I haven't really even made any money on none of these ventures yet. I plan on making my money on the back end when the market starts exploding and you're bringing in 15 to 20 students every day. Your videos are doing 50,000 views, 100, because that's going to come. So, you put the groundwork in now, you invest in yourself now so that in the future, when that demand is there, that's when you're going to make a killing. Right. So, you're going to make a killing. Like the microphones that I've purchased, the mixers that I've purchased, the computers that I've purchased, the iPad, like all of that was just an investment in creating a quality product, working on my public speaking. All of these things are things that are being done with intention so that in the future, I will be equipped to be able to handle the demand that's coming in because I'll be more valuable in the marketplace. And I always tell you guys is work on getting skills, work on refining your skills so that when preparation meets opportunity, success is inevitable because you're prepared. Like you're prepared for the opportunity. So many times, people they're not prepared, and then an opportunity comes and they try to cram things at the last minute. No, like do things with intention and purpose, and I guarantee you'll be okay. So, I'm going to leave this here right now, guys. We're coming up on an hour. I don't want the crypto streams to go longer than an hour because I know that this is technical stuff and people don't really want to sit through there. So I'm going to leave this here right now. For those of you who are in Academy, if you have any questions or anything, go into the community section. I'll answer your questions there. Also, make sure that for those of you who are looking for employment opportunities and you have certain qualifications, go look at the post in the job section and go look through there and see if you can see something that may be of interest to you. So please, guys, do me a favor and like this video, share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join my mailing list. The link is in the description below so that you can be notified even if YouTube doesn't let you know. You can also follow me on Instagram and shoot me a question if you have any questions. Also, you can join my Tech Academy if you are someone who is new and you're looking to learn more about blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. We currently have a 7-day free trial. And with that being said, guys, have a blessed and beautiful evening. And thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope your bags are pumping because mine sure are.